here the color intensity of a particular substance depends on certain components of the electromagnetic spectrum which they interact. Okay, that means here color intensity also plays an important role, and this color intensity of a particular substance will depend on certain components of the electromagnetic spectrum with which they interact. Okay, so substance color intensity will be dependent on the electromagnetic spectrum's components which will interact. Okay, depends on the certain components of the electromagnetic spectrum with which they will interact, and based on this interaction of the substance with electromagnetic components, then the color intensity will be dependent. Consider a substance which appears green in color. So if a substance is green in color, here absorbing most other components of the electromagnetic spectrum except green. That means if the substance is green in appearance, then what will happen? Absorbing other components will occur, but except green components absorption will be not seen. If you see in any spectrum, X-rays, Y-rays are vacuum and UV visible, near infrared, far infrared, microwave, radio wavelength. So these are the different kinds of wavelengths. Y-rays, X-rays and vacuum, UV visible wavelengths and near infrared wavelengths, far infrared wavelengths, microwave wavelengths and radio wavelengths. So these are the different kinds of rays. Okay, and their nanometers are also mentioned there. And here in nuclear transmissions, Y rays are seen, and in inner shell electric transmissions, X rays are seen, and in valence electron transmissions, vacuum rays are seen, and in UV visible and in near infrared, molecular vibrations and rotations. During molecular vibrations and rotations, these UV visible and the near infrared rays will be seen. And for oscillations of nucleoid electrons of magnetic field, these far infrared, microwave and radioactivity wavelength will be observed. Okay. Now let's see about deviations of Beer's law. Deviations of Beer's law. This deviations of Beer's law, we have majorly two deviations. Okay, majorly we have two deviations. The first one is deviations from Beer's law occur usually when high sample concentrations are being measured. Okay, and in the high concentration of absorbing material, the molecules may dimerize. Due to this dimerization, the absorption coefficient will also undergo a change, leading to a positive or negative deviations. Okay, any deviations from this Beer-Lambert's law in which high sample concentration. So if we are using high sample concentration, okay, that's why while taking calorimetric values, we'll ask to just pour the sample to the half of the cuvette. Okay, no need of pouring the sample to the filling that complete cuvette. Only half of the cuvette should be filled. So that's why high sample concentrations, while measuring them, absorbing material of the molecule will get dimerized, and because of this what will happen, absorption coefficient will change to either positive or negative deviations. So due to based on the when we are taking high sample concentration, it may lead to a negative or false result. Why? Because by utilizing high sample concentration, what will happen? Absorbing material dimerization will be occurred, and this lead to change in the absorption coefficient in a positive way or in a negative way. Okay. And the second deviation of Beer-Lambert's law is instrumentation limitations may also result in deviations from Beer's law. One of the main cause is imperfect monochromacy. So instrumentation based limitation it is. That means construction of the instrument will also have some deviations, and in this particular Beer-Lambert's law, imperfect monochromacy, monochromator is not perfectly arranged. So this is one more deviation of Beer's law. Okay. So here what we have discussed, here beam of light is considered as electromagnetic wave. Okay, and this electromagnetic wave has wavelength. Okay, this will have wavelength, and wavelength is nothing but the distance between crust and trough. Okay, the distance between the crust and trough is regarded as wavelength, and apart from wavelength, another character is frequency. So electromagnetic wave or light wave will consist two kinds of characters, that is wavelength and frequency, and this frequency is nothing but it is the number of waves passing through a fixed point of time axis is known as frequency. Okay, and to explain absorption of light, two laws were given, that is Boger-Lambert's law and Beer's law. Okay, in Boger-Lambert's law, what it stated? It stated the amount of light absorbed is proportional to the thickness of the absorbing material and is independent of intensity of incident light. Okay, so it explained only absorption is based on the thickness of the absorbing material and not on the intensity of the incident light. Okay, and the next law is Beer's law. What it explained? This Beer's law states that the amount of light absorbed by a material is proportional to the number of absorbing molecule and concentration of absorbing solution. Here it depends on the absorption of light, depends on the number of absorbing molecules and on the absorbing solution. So these two laws have little deviations, and they are not able to explain this absorption of light completely. That's why they evolved a new law, that is Beer-Lambert's law. Mixing this both Boger-Lambert's law and Beer-Lambert's law, Beer-Lambert's law was formed. And here this Beer-Lambert's law states that the amount of light is absorbed is proportional to the concentration of absorbing substance and to the thickness of absorbing material So this is how Beer-Lambert's law is stated, in which it explains amount of light is dependent on the absorption of the amount of light is dependent on the concentration of absorbing substance and thickness of the absorbing material. These two characters will depend on the amount of light absorption. Okay. And here spectrum of light, in this a beam of radiation from electric bulb consists of several wavelengths and it is known as polychromator. Okay, that means beam with several wavelengths is called as polychromator, and a beam with same wavelength is called as monochromator. So based on this spectrum of light, different rays like Y rays, X rays, UV visible rays, near infrared rays, far infrared rays, microwaves and radioactivity rays, these sort of rays are produced. And also this Beer's law have two deviations, that is here the sample concentration, this Beer's law occurs usually when high sample concentrations are being measured. Okay, so due to this high concentration, what will happen? Absorbing molecules will be dimerized and this leads to change in the absorption coefficient. And due to this change in the absorption coefficient, what will happen? A positive or negative result will form. Okay. And also instrumentation limitations like improper monochromator presence will be also lead to deviation in this Beer's law. Okay, these two are the important deviations of this Beer's law. So this is for this class. Thank you, students. Please keep the material with you while listening to the class. Thank you, students.